Hey guys and girls and everyone in between, it's me, your friendly ASMR Yu-Gi tuber, Red from The Wood Yu-Gi-Oh! Coming at you with a new Budget Revolution, the segment in which we talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! In a way that is friendly for the common folk who wants to be competitive but doesn't have $1,000 to spend on the cutest monsters ever made. I mean, look at that, isn't you who is cute? I mean... So, the order of the day is basically just Rokkets, because nothing says I'm a Marxist like dragon-shaped guns? Gun-shaped dragons? Anyway, we will be talking about everything we know about Revolver Structure Deck, and why personally I wouldn't put my hopes up on it as the next Soulburner Structure Deck. So without further ado, let's start complaining. Revolver Structure Deck has been on everyone's mind lately because it opens the possibility for two really good reprints, Borreload and Borrelsword Dragon, but personally I wouldn't put all my eggs on that basket. While the perfect excuse to reprint those monsters, most likely they will reprint only one of them, if any. I base myself on the fact that Soulburner came with 5 different Diabetic monsters, and that if those numbers repeat in Soulburner's structure deck, 3 of those slots would be occupied by the 3 new monsters. And even though I wish Konami would prove me wrong, I think that Borreload and Borrelsword Dragon won't be reprinted on the structure deck. But now let's look at the new cards. Not a lot have been announced, however, a boss monster has been revealed. A Link 4 Dark Cyberse that needs 2 blast effect monsters as materials. Its effect is good, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's quite up to the standard. First of all, 2 of its arrows are top left and top right, and you might think this opens potential extra linking, but the card states that you cannot summon monsters to an extra monster zone this card points to. And as a topologic monster, it has a mandatory effect to banish every card on the field when a monster is summoned to a zone a Link monster points to. And in Stardust Dragon fashion, during the next standby phase after this card was banished by its own effect, a special summon it back. Next we have the new Link Borrel monster, a Link 2 Dark Dragon, requiring 2 dragon monsters as material, including 1 rocket monster, and as you can already tell there is synergy with card dragons. However, its effect, while powerful, prevents you from summoning Link 2 or lower monster for the rest of the turn, and by discarding 1 card you can target and destroy 1 face-up monster on the field. Then if the destroy monster was a Link monster, you can special summon rocket monsters to the field up to its Link rating. I'd say it's a nice addition, but nothing too crazy. Then, because it's an anime archetype, we have the obligatory fusion monster and spell. Both are quite interesting. Right now, the monster is known as Borreload Furious Dragon, and it's a little A Dark Dragon, whose required materials are 2 Dark Dragon monsters. That means it's a target for both Super Poly and Dragon's Mirror. It has a quick effect to target 1 monster you control and 1 card your opponent controls and destroy them, as well as a graveyard effect to summon back a Dark Link monster by banishing itself. Definitely the best new card out of the structure deck. Meanwhile, the fusion spell is generic, a quick spell, and destroys materials you control. A lot of potential indeed, especially for decks with good field presence, and that at the same time want to get their monsters destroyed. But Rokkets only activate during the end phase, so I'd argue they are not quite there yet, and their effects only get triggered when a Link monster targets them. So let's take a look to the only main deck monster revealed. I'll start by saying that its effect to look at your opponent's extra deck and banish 1 card is insanely good indeed, reminiscent of a card that is currently banned through Kingly Tossagem. My only problem with it is that it needs a Link monster to target it. It also has the end phase special summoning effect. I'll just go ahead and say that Dragon decks are probably going to find a way to abuse this, and that being able to know what your opponent is playing before they play even 1 card is insanely valuable, but not enough to overshadow the flaws that every Rocket monster has. And to wrap up this video we have to look at the reprints. So moving past the obvious archetype cards, like the Rocket monsters, Squib Draw and Quick Launch, that haven't been announced yet, but will most likely be making it into the lineup, the OCG has some quite good confirmed reprints. Mirror Force Launcher and Magic Cylinder, and the 2 important ones, Imperial Order and Red Reboot. I'd say Imperial Order is most definitely coming to the TCG, because structure decks as of late seem to be reprinting really good floodgates. Meanwhile, Red Reboot was actually used in the anime by Revolver. It is a more than welcome reprint, although it isn't seeing that much play outside of True Draco. So it's time for my verdict. Sadly, when you compare them to Salamangreats, Rockets seem really lackluster. They still have access to a crazy card like Quick Launch, but until they don't have good targets for it, it'll still be a really good card stuck in a mediocre archetype. But if they do get a good target for Quick Launch, they will probably become relevant, which when you think about it may actually be the reason why Konami doesn't give them a good main deck monster in the first place. Either way, I'd say the reprints will ultimately decide if the structure deck is worth buying or not. Regarding the chances of Rockets becoming meta, I say it's unlikely. I'd like to be proven wrong though, because I actually really like the archetype. That's gonna be it for this video, hope you had a good time. If you did, leave a like and check out my other videos. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter through the links in the description. And remember, prepare for the budget revolution. Thank you very much for making it to the end. Adios.